Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. I hope this devotional time finds you and your family well and prime for the very best day that it can be. Though, at least for many of us, it's not exactly Thanksgiving as usual. Thanksgiving in our household has usually started with two very predictable C's: cleaning and cooking. Beth will start the day working on the stuffing and the yeast rolls, and about mid-morning put the turkey in. Then we start the cleaning and the rest of the cooking. While we both like to cook, Beth takes charge on Thanksgiving, and with the exception of carving the turkey, I come into the kitchen only to sneak a few pre-dinner bites. Besides carving the bird, it's generally up to me to set the table and to do what little cleaning and straightening up is needed. If it's cold out, I'll lay a fire. I like a good wood fire, and Thanksgiving fires seem to be a great way to set the mood. Then around noon, we begin the critical 3 F's: football, family, and food. Football is first. Then the family will start arriving around 3 o'clock, and the food will start when everyone arrives. Can I just say that Beth is a great cook? I know some households that serve ham, but ours is strictly a turkey house, with your only choices being white or dark meat. Then, of course, there will be the starches: stuffing and mashed potatoes and gravy, and Beth will make homemade rolls, and there will be several different kinds of vegetables and cranberry sauce, the kind that you get from the cans, salad, and, of course, at least 3 different types of dessert, which no one except the teenage boys can manage to eat until at least one college football game has been played. Are you getting hungry? Does ours sound like the Thanksgiving that you're used to with your family? Except that this year will be different. We're trying to stay socially distant and won't be gathering as a family. And there's a sadness in that for me, and like so many things that this year brought, I've spent my time grieving. But there are a couple of strategies that we're making use of, and I commend them to you. First, we're compensating. Since we won't be gathering, we won't be having turkey. Beth asked me what I'd like to eat instead. To use a baseball term, I swung for the fence and asked if we could have prime rib. I'll gladly cook it on the smoker, I offered. And that's our plan today. We're also going to connect with family. Every child and grandchild will get a phone call, FaceTime, or Zoom conversation. We'll be sure, too, to call Beth's 96-year-old mother and maybe some sisters and brothers. The connections are critical. If you can't be physically with those you love most, please make every effort to connect in what ways you can. And last but not least, there will be football, though I understand St. Louis' biggest Thanksgiving rivalry, Kirkwood and Webster Groves, has been canceled. And of course, my favorite team, Alabama, won't be playing our arch rival Auburn until Saturday, so the football won't end with today. Still, there's plenty to watch. Throughout the Hebrew Scriptures, there is what appears to be both a bit of advice and a stern warning. It's repeated many times in many different books. One instance is found in Proverbs 22:28. Do not remove the ancient landmark that your ancestors set up. Literally, people set up markers, stone markers, identifying and distinguishing what territory belonged to them and what belonged to their neighbors, where it was safe to go and where it wasn't safe to go. But the ancient landmark stood, too, as a symbol for all the traditions and customs that gave people identity and security. In this season where we've had to go where we didn't want to go, can I urge you to maintain as many of your family traditions as you can, as best you can, and where you can't, to compensate with something that will delight and bless you. I'm thinking that prime rib really would be a great new tradition. But please, please don't take my football away. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone.